All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first stream in this series where we are going to be building together, hopefully, a uniquely positive digital experience or experiences. So what this stream is about, we're actually in this stream in particular today. We're going to be in the very early planning stages. So on purpose, I have left a completely blank slate, and I will be basically coming at you from square one. I want to go through the whole process with my audience, with my community, and do this together with you all. So today I'll be focusing on an idea for the project. So this means whether it ends up being a game, a video game, a virtual reality experience, or whatever else, I will be deciding on that and what type of game or experience, and also some details for that as far as like storyline and the world building part. So I hope you'll all stick around. What else we have on this channel, just in case you're new to the channel, I also do travel vlogs, and what I'm really focused on right now though is helping creative people, more specifically content creators or artists, to live a more balanced and productive and healthy life rather than the old adage of starving artists living on the fringes of society, working work to work, scrounging their money together from their works. I want to show kind of like, you could say like finance and business and how to make a living while still maintaining that creative energy and flow that's necessary to create art. So that's what else is on the channel. I mentioned travel vlogs. So we have, as far as what we have coming up for travel, it's a lot. We have a huge trip planned, which I actually won't get into the details now. I haven't really told anyone about this. Maybe a couple people know. My wife, daughter, and I, but I'm not going to go into those details now. We also, though, what I will tell you, we have a lot of trips that we've covered on the channel, more that we haven't covered, that we've gone on, and we'll talk about those and the videos. We're also planning a trip to Colorado, one to Mexico, many to India, and yeah, so that you can find that on the channel. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'll see those videos in the future. But what today is about is the stream. So before we get into it fully though, let me just mention a couple things. We have live chat is enabled. So if you, if you want to go and say anything to me, I would greatly appreciate that. Actually, that's the reason I'm live streaming this, is so that I can work with the community on this project. So if you have any ideas, anything that you think while you're following along, you with the live chat, and I will see it, and I'll be communicating with you with that. If you're watching this after the live stream, if you're watching the replay, leave a comment, and I will see that too later on, and I will incorporate all of these ideas into this project so that this can really be our project and not just my project. I want to learn how to do this, and I want to facilitate a positive version of a game and how to create a game for people that might not know, including myself. So that's why live chat is enabled, and comments will be enabled for the replay viewers. I want as much engagement as I can get on this, and I will be definitely taking these thoughts that we have together in mind and putting it into this project. So let me start, I guess, by saying, I already touched on this a bit, that my vision for this project and where we're at now is basically, I have a grand vision for an eventual product that I want to bring out to the masses. But that's not where this is going to start. This is going to start literally just basics. This is going to be, if you don't know much about what goes into making a game, this is going to be heavy on the software engineering. So if you don't know much about that, welcome to the club. I have very little experience, but I have been learning and trying to learn. And so I'll be continuing to learn. Later versions, or later I should say live streams, I'll be live coding. So that's something that you can follow along with if you have any interest in software engineering or game development. The live coding that will be happening later, though, will not be happening today. Today, I'll literally just be planning and kind of like building an idea for what I want to start working on. My method for doing this, I will be live streaming every, hopefully twice a week, at least once a week. I'm going to try to be as consistent as I can with that. Trying to do twice a week. If you see the live stream up, then you know I'm on. I'll be uploading the preview well beforehand, a little earlier than I did today, so you'll know ahead of time if I'm going to be going live. But just to give a kind of general idea, I'm trying to shoot for this time. So this is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday and Saturday. So if I get to those, then I will. If I don't kill me. I will try not to be super upset with myself either. But I am going to try to hit those every week. So including the stream, I'll be researching in between streams what I need to research based on what I come up with during the stream and where I'm lacking. But yeah, let me real quick run a little banner to say what we're doing. There you go. So if you just joined the stream, that's what we have going on. We are working on building together as much as possible. If not, it's just me. Uniquely positive digital experiences. So I see a comment. We have a comment. It says, "Start coding now." And this is actually, I know who this is. I won't out them. But I just want to let you know that there's not going to be any coding in this live stream today. Today is just for the early planning stages of where I'm going with the project. Coding will happen starting next live stream. So, yes. Let's see. Okay, real quick, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe below. Consider supporting the channel with a super thanks or even just a thumbs up, a like. Super thanks is enabled, and that will go to helping us travel, helping do this more often and more consistently. So I'm gonna real quick get up my notepad, which is what I'll be working on today. I'm gonna put this on the screen, and that's where we have it. You literally see nothing. We have starting from scratch. That's exactly what I wanted. I have tons of ideas for potential experiences and different games that I've wanted to create in the past. But they say that when you start a career in software development, I should say in development, the first thing that you should do as an indie developer, at least, is to create something, make it, and ship it, and put it out there so you know the whole process. So this first one that we're going to be starting with is not going to be one of my brand ideas that I want to get out there eventually. This is going to be what they call a craft game. So where I literally just learn how to do it. And this is especially helpful for me right now because I don't have much software engineering experience. So I don't want to spend all of my time, going back, editing my work while I learn, trying to build some humongous, crazy, awesome game. I want this to be awesome, but not huge. sense to you. I'll explain it a little more. So I want it to be awesome in that I want it to be super positive and unique. I want it to function well, and I want it to be fun to enjoy. In that I don't want it to be humongous means I don't want to spend years. Technically, it would take many years for me to do something like that. I don't want to spend those years working on that project, learning to code, and have nothing at the end except potentially a restart. And then I haven't learned the later stages of shooting that game. So all that to say, we're going to be working on a crap game first. So what we have is blank slate. And I'll write here, let's make a new folder, a new tab, a new note. In our notes folder, this is going to be called crap game. So we'll call it first game. And I think a game is a good place to start for this first crap game, because eventually I want to build things other than just games. But there's so much knowledge and information out there and a big community for building a game that I think it'll make it a lot easier to learn. So we're going to go first game, and then let's see, genre, question mark. We're going to go, I guess we could, I have a lot of experience with story writing and world building, not in the form of games, but in the form of fiction writing. So what I like to do with that, I as backwards as it may sound, sometimes I like to come up with the title first. Sometimes I just have a story idea building in my mind. But oftentimes I do like to come up with the title first. So I'll put title here and put another question mark. Let me turn off this little ticker and go back to where we were at. Put this one on. This is my first stream as well, you all. So hang in there with me a little bit. It may be a little rough, but try to do my best to make it entertaining and engaging. We'll put this one on. Subscribe to Aaron J. Kaplan. All right, and now back at it. First game, genre, we don't know. Title, we don't know. But let's see, just to keep me comfortable in my comfort zone, what I like to play and what I'm most interested in is fantasy, so we'll kind of put that under genre. I don't like shooters, and I don't think a shooter is very much positive. I guess some could argue facts, but I would rather not make a shooter. So let's see. Fantasy. So shooters. And heavy on the story. That's something I love to make stories. I could turn out a huge, big story and world real quick. Heavy on the story. Let's see. So, keeping that in mind, the title. I have a question mark there now. I may come up with the title right now, just to kind of throw around some ideas, but let's actually skip that. Let's go to some ideas. Rough ideas for idea one. Let's come up with one. Let's break down here so I don't forget. I'm coming up with more ideas now, just so they're popping in later. No. Idea number 2. Idea number 3. So we're gonna come up with some quick ideas. I'm good at this. This is something that I excel at. I don't know about on a live stream with the pressure, but that's why I turn on the background music. I hope you like it. To kind of keep me calm and able to think through these ideas. I probably won't have the background music on when I'm live coding and later live streams, but for now it's on. Help me kind of keep my mind calm to think of some ideas. So rough ideas for game number 1. Let's see. Right before I get that, ideas, put this on. To let people know if they missed the beginning, what else is on this channel. That's a banner running on the bottom. Okay, so rough ideas for game. Idea number 1. Well, first we want to make sure where I come with that idea. Let's kind of build this out. That's how this is going to work, I guess, because it is live and I don't have the, as you would say, space to just sit here and think for 30 minutes and come up with something silently. That would not be very entertaining. So I'm going to put positive, must. Let's put must. Genre, title, both are question marks. Must for game. So, must be. Must help. I'm trying to think of how to word this. Must help make people feel good. Must be okay. So feel good. Feel good to play. Oh, here's a must that I have from other games that I really want to include. Must not be addicting, but must be engaging and fun. I know that might be something that in the games industry right now is not, some people probably think that they don't want their game to be addicting because it's bad for people to be addicted to something. But then how do they make money? So there's that balance. I've thought of some ideas which we'll get into in later, maybe even later today, but eventually that will help make the game engaging and fun and worth someone's while to play and make them want to play, but make them also not be addicted to it, sit there all day and every day and just so without compromising. So let's say must not be addicting, but must be engaging and fun. Must not be addicting, but must not compromise on engagement and fun. Must not compromise on fun. Another must. Guess I was gonna say another must, or I could put the no shooters down there. I guess I'll put that. Yeah, no shooters. Or this is a big one. Violent. I'm gonna put a star there and a little asterisk. Because I want to mention that in my fiction that I write, I specifically and on purpose keep violence out, yet still make it super entertaining. And I've looked into other stories that do this. I have not found many, especially in the fantasy realm. Especially in epic adventure fantasy stories. And I feel like that's very similar in games. There are some games, there's actually quite a few games that don't have violence, but I think in the genre that I've traditionally liked to play, a lot of it is violent, and I kind of have grown out of those games. And I always felt kind of weird playing them. So let's just say no shooters or violence. But still epic. No shooters or violence. Here's the star, but still now let's see if an idea pops into my mind yet. Actually, real quick, let me make sure that it's streaming on YouTube. Let's see. Are we there? No. Yes, we are. Okay, perfect. Cool. All right, yeah, because I'm in a back end right now on a platform that lets you stream to YouTube. I'll call it StreamYard, but just making sure it's there, and it is. Okay, so rough ideas for games. Let's see. I'll come up with some quick ones. Well, what I don't want like a runner, like Subway Surfers. I love playing that, but I don't want to build something like that. Let's see what I don't want. Let's make that must. And here's okay, so something just came to my mind. I'm gonna put no PvP, which is player versus player. No PvP or arena style. Well, maybe arena style, who knows? Like with not gladiator or warring style, but more like let's see, how do I say it? Like you have to build camaraderie, like team building kind of thing. So no PvP, but maybe I'll put it out. No player versus player. Player. Please. And throughout the stream, you're going to get a feel for how I have these ideas for like something uniquely positive that really isn't out there. Trying to make something super unique. As is always the case, I feel like for an artist, or at least to express yourself, and everyone's kind of tapped into that realization. And I know that I am a unique person, just like everyone else is, and I don't want to copy someone else's idea. So, if it ends up being the same as someone else's idea and I didn't know about it, that's different. I don't want to intentionally copy someone's idea. Let's see. Must nots for game. No endless runners. No player versus player, but maybe player with player. Like teamwork building. Like team building instead of gladiator style death matches. What else? No card games. I don't like the card situation that's happened in games lately, where a lot of them have like characters are based on cards. I like for it to be fully immersive, because eventually I'd like to build something virtual reality. And when I think of virtual reality and something that I would like to play, something where I am the character. And I don't want to, build my stats. I want to be the character in the game. Could be stats, but if there's a way to go without stats and just the individual playing the game grows as a person, that would be epic. No card game. Let's see. Potentials for game. Potential ideas for game. Instead of focusing on building in-game stats, focus on growing the individual playing game. So, the actual individual playing the game. Actual individual playing the game. Okay, back to. Let me come back to the stream real quick. There's no comments to attend to. No ideas coming from there. I'll go back to banners, run something else. Let's see. Just join the stream. I'll say that. All right, so genre. I like fantasy. I don't like shooters. I like, okay, so first person, there we go. Fantasy and first person are probably going to be what it is. But of course, I'm just putting these ideas together, these ideas together, so that by the time we're done with the stream, we'll have a 1, 2, and 3 rough ideas for game, like synopses for exactly what I will be building in the coming live stream. Over the coming, hopefully 6 months, I can have this done. But then on to the next game and the next game and the next. So for the next years, the next time, these live streams. All right, so let's see. Genre. Fantasy, first person. I like adventure games. Adventure. So I'll put a question mark there because, well, the whole thing is there. I know what I mean by that. Let me explain it for those who don't know. So when I say adventure, I mean like you start one place, you end up somewhere else. And I guess we could say open adventure is cool because that would mean there's not a designated route to take throughout the game, nor is there really a end to the game. Play forever. So this should be, I like that idea. This should be multiplayer. So fantasy, first person, open adventure, multiplayer, cooperative, but no clan schedule that people must follow to play this game. That's something that I think makes it very addicting. So going back to this idea down here, must not, must not be addicting, but must not compromise on engagement and fun factor. That those clans and those schedules that you have to follow to be in a clan on many multiplayer games, or you're out of the clan but you're not helping it, you're gonna cancel that right there and just not make plans for this. All right. So you may be wondering how this is all going to come together. And you may be seeing these as clashing ideas, but I guarantee you something good will come out of this. We have great potential as humans, and when in creation, in art, we have great potential for things that you might not have ever thought of before. And to give you a little, what's the word? Set your minds at ease about that. I have done this before, stories, and it always comes out. A little confident. Okay, so must nots, endless runners. There's a lot of must nots actually. No endless runners, no card heavy game, no card-based game. No player versus player, but maybe player with player. I love that idea actually. It's growing on me. So that's going to be idea number one. That's idea number one. Arena style game. Arena style. Say PvP. style game, but instead of fighting against the opponent, oh, and this can be actually just a facet of the game too. I'll show you in a second. But instead of fighting against the opponent, you work with them to build your own character and theirs. And then take that growth and bring it into the rest of it. Okay? So, idea 1. This can be one facet of it, but outside of that, we're going to have a game going on in addition to that. So let's see. Let's say it's a first-person multiplayer epic adventure game. Call it role-playing. Not role-playing, it's role-being. Epic adventure game. It's role-playing, but role-being. First-person multiplayer epic adventure game. Not role-playing, but role-being with an arena-style, PvP-style game within it. There we go. Arena-style, PvP-style game within the game. But instead of fighting against the opponent, you work with them to build your own character and theirs. And then take that growth and bring it into the rest of the game. So there, what I'm thinking actually is a little bit similar to like Pokemon, though that you're battling your some Pokemon. If you're not aware, you take your Pokemon, go into the arena against someone else, another trainer and their Pokemon, and the Pokemon fight. You get stats for your Pokemon, and you grow your Pokemon via that. So what I'm thinking in terms of that, instead of where they're fighting, instead of you fighting or bringing a character there, just you and another person playing the game, they come in and they work together. You work together with this other player in the game and build yourself, go out and take that experience into the rest of the game. And I don't know if there's a way to actually do that in terms of without stats, or in terms of just being you in the game. But we'll see. We'll leave that for later. Possibly. Let's see. First person multiplayer epic adventure game. Not role playing, but role being. Maybe. Or role playing, not possible. Build something without, what are they called? They're not stats, they're players, blanking on the term right now, but build something. Not possible to build something without I'll just call it stats if I can remember. Something without stats. Not possible to build. Maybe, if possible, a role-being game, or role-playing if it's not possible for it to be a role-being game. Let's see. Okay. Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's go back to potential ideas for game. So let's go over the notes, because I've made a lot of notes and starting to get a little blurred trying to explain the whole thing on live stream. But we'll work through this. So let's go through these notes, see where we should go. First game, the crap game, as they say. Genre, fantasy, first person, open adventure, multiplayer, or cooperative, but no clans or schedules, and no shooters. That's actually on the must not, so I'll put that out of there to keep it. I'm pulling these notes. Heavy on the story aspects. Title. I'm not going to go with the title first. Well, maybe I will later. Obviously, I didn't do that first. Musts for the game. Must feel good to play. Must somehow benefit the player, not monetarily, but character, but not money, somehow benefit the player's character that they take with them after playing. Okay, must not be addicting, but must not compromise on engagement and fun factor. Of course, not compromise on engagement and fun factor, but I don't want it to be addicting. No shooters or violence. Let's select. We have must nots for the game. No endless runners, no player versus player, but maybe player with player. No card-based game. Don't want to make a sports game, so we'll say no sports game. Potential ideas for game. Instead of focusing on building in-game stats, focus on growing the actual individual playing the game, if possible. If not, grows in-game stats. Metric or how to advance. Later on, though, in future games that I'll be working on, it's not going to be so much a game, and it'll be more of an experience to experience with other people. So it'll be a lot easier to, in something like that, to say that there won't be stats and that it'll just be, character building yourself. That's kind of what I'm going for eventually. I'm trying to do that with a game here and incorporate that idea into a game. If we can come up with something, that would be great. If not, then it'll be focused on stats, on building your character in the game. Let's see. All right. Not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe below so you can watch more of these streams later on, and our other videos where I talk about how to be a creative person, either a content creator, artist, or whatever, what have you, and still have a real life, family, travel, healthy lifestyle, and be productive at work while not compromising on your creativity. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Let's see. Back to the potential ideas for games. Instead of focusing on building, where should we go from here? Let's go back to rough ideas for game. And we will do idea number 2. just to throw these ideas around. And by the end, we're going to have one idea. By the end of this stream, I'll have one idea from which to take and kind of refine in my spare time between now and the next stream, and then come to the next stream and let you know what I've got for you that we'll be working on then. All right, so first idea was a first-person multiplayer epic adventure game. Let's wipe the slate clean on the head, and let's go to idea 2. Let me not read idea 1, just put idea 2. Keeping in mind the same must not, same genre probably, but a new idea. Let's see. New idea. What about if we go totally different? Idea 1 says first person. What if we go where your character in the game is not like let's say it's like a team. How about that? Ooh, that's kind of cool. I grew up playing team sports mostly. A lot of individual sports too, but mostly focused on team sports. Let's say this is like a sports game, but not playing sports. Just like a team, straight up. Like you open the game, you do you learn how the controls work, and then you get put on a team, and you have to collaborate with them. So let's say style team, but not playing sports. That's interesting. Never thought of something like that before, but there you have it. I'll work with that. Let's say, sports style team, but not sports. Instead, collaborating on an adventure. There we go. Sports style, real world player team, and not playing sports, instead collaborating on an adventure. That actually sounds really cool. I like that idea. And of course, these ideas could be stolen by someone watching, but if they are, I have more ideas in the bank. Not even worried about it. But I would like to work on these personally, whatever I decide to work on, and it not be stolen. But we do live in a world where people steal things. That sucks. But not to let it deter me, I'm still going to come up with these ideas and work through them. Even if it is stolen, you can't steal the game itself, and there's lots of copies of games out there, so whatever. The point is for me to learn how to do this, and if someone wants to steal a extremely positive game, put it out there, and they can do it better and to more people, that's awesome, because the point is for it to make a positive impact in the world. Let me write that, because that might not be clear, but it is exactly what I'm going for. First game. Must for game. Feel good to play. Oh, let's just go. Make a positive impact on the world. Positive impact on the world. Okay. So back to idea 2. Sports style, real world multiplayer game, but not playing sports. Instead, collaborating on an adventure. I love that. That's so cool. Alright, and now idea 3. Let's cap it at 3. No, I'm not going to cap it at 3 because I want to finish by the end of this stream and have the game that I'm going to be working on for potentially 6 months and then ship as my first game. So I want it to be no compromises on quality. So I'll come up with 4, maybe more game ideas. idea 3. So let's go with this and try to bounce something off of this where I say no shooters or violence. Let's try to say something opposite, like blowing kisses or something. Hugs. So what else do we have that I could use to bounce something off of that? Let's go to must. We have no shooters or violence. Make a positive impact. Feel good to play. Here, okay, so potential ideas for game, I'm going to put notes instead of potential ideas because that's kind of confusing. Having rough ideas down there and potential ideas there. General notes. Let's see. Rough ideas number 3. I'll just put it down. I'll put, say, instead of shooting guns, instead of shooting weapons, blow kisses. Or something. Right, let's expand on that. I like that idea, but it's pretty basic right now. Blow kisses and give up. Or how about donate snacks? How about that? Instead of shooting weapons, blow kisses and give hugs. Or how about you don't build your I love this. General notes on ideas. Don't build your own stats. Game play. Instead, or play build stats others. These are all general notes and ideas. Those are all question marks. I don't know how they can implement it, but I'm sure they can. But now it's not certain. Let's see. Instead of shooting weapons, blow kisses and give hugs, or something like that. How about and instead of building character skills, what they call it. Skills, talent. We build skills of others. I'm going to make a little note at the top and say stats, actually skills and talent trees, because I couldn't think of the word earlier. Let's see. Where did I make that note? Little notes and ideas. The term stats has been interchanged with skills, talents, and talent point. So edit that after the frame. I'm gonna make some homework notes for me to keep in mind. New note. Homework. Edit copy. Make everything clear to read. For now. The first game, back to our notes here. Instead of shooting weapons, blow kisses and give hugs, or something like that. And instead of building your character's skills and talent trees, you build those of others. Let's pretty cool. I like that idea. Found something with that. Same with the sports style real world multiplayer game, but not playing sports. Same with the first idea. I might blend these. Let's see. Let's do that. All right, blended idea. Blended idea. Blended final idea. It's called final idea. Final idea. Ooh. Still no comments. Not many people tapping into this stream. Alright. Hey, actually, most of my audience, I realized this after I set the schedule, most of my audience is probably asleep. Because a lot of my subscribers are across the other side of the pond, the other side of the world. Might be asleep or waking up first thing in the morning. But I had already scheduled the stream, so I just went for it and did it. Keeping that in mind, I may change the time of the stream in the future, so it might not be 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. as I was thinking. Might be anytime. Who knows? Let's see. Back to the game. Yeah, so we have 3 rough ideas that I'm going to try to blend into a final idea. Take with me into the planning after this and before the next stream. So we have first-person multiplayer epic adventure game with an arena-style PvP style game within the game, but instead of fighting against the opponent, you work with them to build your own character and theirs, and then take that growth and bring it into the rest of the game. Okay. So that can actually work with the, instead of shooting weapons, you blow kisses and give hugs, or something like that. So this should be an extremely, like, cooperative. That's what I said up there. Multiplayer, cooperative, no plans scheduled. Plans are scheduled. Okay. And then the idea 2 was sports style real world multiplayer team, but not playing sports. Instead, collaborating on an adventure. This could actually all be blended. And actually, I think I'm better at blending without being on like a live stream, trying to keep it entertaining. So I will do that. I'll blend my rough ideas together after this. One more. Edit, copy and note, and then blend name ideas together into a final idea to move forward with. Okay, that's my homework number 2. Okay. So, and you know, it's really like coming up with a crap game. I don't think it's super important what I make as long as it fits the bill of these that I've noted, the musts and the must nots. In order to fit the role of being a positive digital experience. So as far as like details of exactly what I end up making, that's not going to be so important, I guess, for lack of a better term. What is important is to come up with an idea, which I'll do after the stream, and to build it, which I'll do starting in the next stream. So you can look for it on Saturday. On Saturday, hopefully, this Saturday. If not, the next Wednesday. But whenever it is, you'll see the live stream come up on your YouTube if you're subscribed to the channel. Right there, NJ Kaplan. And in those next streams, we will be starting the live coding process. So first setting up the my work environment on the computer. We'll do that together for those who have never done it. And since I barely know what I'm doing. So there's some more homework. See what tools get an idea of work environment tools that I'll need based on what type of experience I'm trying to build. That'll be an ongoing process. I'll gain tools throughout time, but that's something I'll do right now too when I get off live stream before the next one. And then so live coding starting next time, but first set up the work environment. Let's see, I'll be probably primarily working in C++ and maybe even making this on Unreal Engine. That would be ideal because that's pretty standard in the gaming industry. Unity is another option. I think C# goes with Unity, but I'm trying to focus on one, and I think C++ and Unreal is the one that I'll be focusing on. So, yeah, that's my homework. Anyways, let me run this real quick. If you made it this far in the stream, as a replay watcher, please hit like, thumbs up on this video so it can spread a little further. And if you haven't, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks. That will go a long way to helping me maintain this channel, doing what I'm trying to do here. If you like the idea of creating a uniquely positive digital experience, then consider super. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you all with that. So, recap: we came up with some ideas for a scrap game, and we have a lot of notes of things to keep in mind. These rough ideas. I hope you've realized that they're super unique. I'm going to blend them together and make something cohesive and tangible that we can build starting next time. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Bye.